Good morning guys, welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming, the home of tips, tricks, guides and tunes of Forza Horizon, and we're on the LEGO DLC right now, and we're having a look at the championships, and we've got Summer Saloon Showdown. Yep, it's for the summer season, which I'm a bit late on, and completing it gets you 50,000 credits, 30,000 credits and 20,000 credits. You've got Valley View Sprint, Brickchester Loop Circuit and Bricktree Sprint. That's your events for this one, and with the LEGO stuff, it's all to be completed on average driver task settings. You don't need to be on highly skilled, but the cars I've got here are a bit sort of limited in a way. They're not either tuned up or they're just not very powerful, and I've got the BMW M5, so I'm going to go for this. And this is untuned. This is a BMW M5 Forza edition from '88, and it's rear-wheel drive. So this should be an interesting one because I don't tend to do rear-wheel drive in racing events. I don't mind drifting around and having a bit of fun in free roam. But when it comes to doing racing events in rear wheels, I'm not really sort of experienced in that one. So this should definitely be an interesting one. No tune on this. This is pretty much as it comes. And let's see what happens with stability. I've got no problems with the power. I've got no problems with the actual events. But it certainly comes down to the stability and how slidey it is. Because, well, it's rear-wheel drive. And pretty much everyone else is probably rocking all-wheel drive cars. And this is why you tend to use all-wheel drive in championships, but this is only LEGO, this is only a bit of a mess about in a way. So I'm not overly worried sort of about tuning it up and making it super competitive. I just want to have a little bit of a blast because I don't tend to mess about with rear wheels in racing games too often. But I've got 5th place, I've got 4th, got 3rd, and coming up to take 2nd easily enough, giving it a drift round completely. Well, it's no control when you sort of hit corners at that speed. Give you a nudge, round there, 1st place, and when you do slow down, you put your foot down to pull away, it does spin the wheels quite a lot, so you do have to sort of half press the paddle down on the back of a controller, because if you don't, you will spin it and you just won't go anywhere. Okay. That's a funny one. That's a breakable object, and sometimes you hit them and it just stops you dead. In another event I've done, I've actually seen a driver to a car hit a nice little breakable small shrub, a little small tree, and it just stops them dead completely. And I did that with the little barrier. So yeah, it does happen on this. So I hit the rewind and just having another little go. Coming around here, around Brickchester. This is the main city in the LEGO world in LEGO Valley. And if you haven't seen this stuff before, it's actually, to be fair, it actually looks quite nice. It's got all the little LEGO people and all LEGO tractors and buildings and whatnot. And it is actually quite cool. But for this event, I'm definitely struggling a bit here because these guys are building up the speed quite a lot behind me. And I've got to sort of manage it myself a little bit, otherwise I will spin it and wheel spin and have issues. But I've got 1st place on that one, which is what I want, because that's 20 points on the board, same as any other playlist event, any other championship. We need to win the championship at the end of the 3 races. So that's 1 out of the 3 done, so definitely a good thing. Where are we off to next? Looking at the map, we've got this one here, Brickchester Loop Circuit. Okay, it's a circuit race and pretty tight corners as well, so this should be very interesting when it comes to a rear-wheel drive. But this is all a bit of fun, it's a bit of an experience for me, and I'm sort of showing you guys this LEGO stuff because I don't think a lot of people do LEGO on Forza. They don't do Fortune, they don't do LEGO, so I thought, you know what, I might start doing some of this as well as the core playlist. And if you do like this stuff, let me know. Leave me a comment, hit the like button, and if you do like this stuff, I will actually do this I'll do more of it, because it's pretty easy to do. It doesn't take huge amounts of time per se, but it does actually give you a bit of fun, really. It's actually quite enjoyable, even though I'm sort of setting myself up at a bit of a disadvantage on this event. So slowly pulling away because I don't want to spin it. These guys are all passing me, and I'm down to 11th. Little nudge into 7th again. That was crazy. Into 6th. Coming round. These corners are really tight, so I can't sort of gain a lot of speed on it. Hit the building, never good. Skidding it a bit too much, and I'm back down to 7th. This is literally a nightmare. This is one thing I did not want, but this is what's happening. But I'm going to try and work with it. Let's sort of learn how to chuck this around a little bit and try and sort of get myself into first or second, or well, preferably first. And I'm back up to 6th. Little nudge for you, but not really working too well, because it's very difficult to knock driver tires off their racing lines. But I've managed to get back into 6th. A little battle with you and your BM. It's a BM battle, yeah. But I've got 5th. Coming around here. Yeah, that barrier slowed me down again. They normally don't. You can hit them, they just go flying. A lot of Lego pieces flying around. Second lap. Up this little ramp. And I need to claw my way up a little bit on this one. So cut the corner a little bit. Give you a nudge. And got myself into second. A little bash there. Give you a smack. And you're fighting me. You're spinning it to try and slow me down. Because there's definitely sort of a group effort against you when it comes to these driver tires. But I've got myself into first place. As we come towards the third lap. And we are on to a third lap. So it's just a case of maintaining this and just getting through in first place, because if I can do that, it takes pressure off on the next one, because offhand I can't remember where it's at. So if I can get 2 first place finishes on the first 2 events, that does definitely take the pressure off. Wobbling around quite a lot there, being very careful on this. I'm barely topping 50 mile an hour on this, on 40 to 50, and it's absolutely shocking. It really is. But this is what this event is, and rear wheels spinning it a bit, but this is the finish line. This is where I need to be. So that's another first place finish. Excellent. That's what I want. That's what I've got. So 40 points on the board. Back into the map, and let's have a scan around. Let's see where that third event is. There it is. Brick Tree Sprint over to the east. So let's do a fast travel that way, and let's just get this one done and get this kind of ill-advised experiment out of the way. Okay, Brick Tree Sprint. Continue championship, go for a Forza edition, and just do a little dance and get this stuff loaded in. Brick Tree Sprint, Summer Saloon Showdown. I'm winning easily. No, I'm not. That was actually a bit of a struggle. So no, I don't think I'll be messing around with above average driver tires for this one. I'll just leave it on average. Other stuff, yeah, fair enough, I might take the challenge. But for this one, I'm not. I'm just keeping on here and just barely holding it together. So slowly pulling away, a little bit of spin on the wheels, but you're passing me, drop down to 9th. And this is why I don't tend to recommend rear wheel drive cars for championships. I always tend to recommend the all wheel drive conversions that I've done, stuff like this, because it's more stable, you got better acceleration off the line, and they just offer you a bit more control. And these rear wheels are quite fun, admittedly, but you don't want to be sort of doing too many championships in them. And third place, hard accelerating. I should pass you in second without too many problems. Can probably take first without too many issues as well. But a time comes when I have to really slow down and start taking corners when you're doing a pretty respectable speed across all these random bits, some Lego blocks piled up everywhere. Yay, smash them up, get a few damage and wreckage skill points, so all good. And these guys are actually really keeping up with me. And other events I've done on here, they're miles behind me, absolutely flooring it, and they're just miles behind me, but because I've got a rear wheel drive car, they've got all these advantages over me, which means that I really do have to sort of struggle a bit to keep ahead of it, and that is because I don't tend to use rear wheel drive cars for events, and I tend just to be used to rear wheel drive ones. And when you suddenly decide, you know what, I'm just going to drop into one here and just use a rear wheel, and it's like, yeah, okay, bit of a learning curve when it comes to the racing. Give it some hard braking round here, slow it down a little bit, but hopefully not too much, and give it some power coming up. Try and take as straight a line as possible, but it's not always possible. Note to self, do not take the wall out, that will slow you down far too much. So let's have another go at this one and come round, and I can see the finish line at the end, which means as long as I can maintain this for a little bit longer, I'll get another victory, which is definitely what I'm planning to do. So I'll accelerate 140, 143 through the line. So that's another 20 points, so giving me a total of 60 points, and that is the championship completed. There you go, Summer Saloon Showdown complete. Got some levels completion there, and I've got some credit rewards, and I'll have some more credit rewards and some more credit rewards. So basically I've got 100,000 credits for doing that race and winning it on average, which, okay, it's not too bad, but it's not really sort of massively incentivizing you, is it? But that is that, guys. If you like this Lego stuff, hit that like, hit subscribe if you like my channel, and leave me a comment telling me what you think about this stuff. So until next time, thank you for watching, take it easy, and happy driving.